With the selection of a jury in the Sean Diddy Combs case almost complete, prosecutors are preparing for opening arguments on Monday. But they admit there's a snag. One of their key witnesses against the rapper appears to have gone missing. This comes as we learn that Combs' ex-girlfriend, who was seen on video being assaulted by the rapper, is pregnant.
So get this, victim 2 gone, vanished like she never existed. One of the most crucial witnesses in this entire Diddy trial has straight up disappeared. Prosecutors are losing it behind the scenes. They've been trying to reach her, call her, track her down. Nothing. It's like she just dipped out, ghosted the planet. And let's be clear, this isn't some background extra in the trial. She's a major piece of the puzzle. And if they don't find her, the prosecution's whole case could crumble like a stale cookie.
Sean Diddy Combs' trial backing out? Victim number 3, as she's called, was set to testify against the music mogul. The name of victim number 3 was going to be revealed when she took the stand, but the woman has apparently gone missing, and prosecutors say they've been unable to reach her.
People just get nervous, and this person could just be nervous and just has had second thoughts.
If the prosecutor can't find this witness, how might it affect the case?
Look, I don't think it's going to have a tremendous effect. The prosecution is going to call a number of alleged victims. So look, this is just one less.
Someone else is also getting cold feet. A juror sent an email to the judge asking to be removed from the panel for issues of personal well-being.
Now, baby, here's where it gets even messier. A lawyer watching this dumpster fire unfold spilled the truth. Losing victim 3 is a legal nightmare. She's not just important, she's essential. He said, when the spotlight's this hot and the headlines are this savage, some folks just want out, like they're done being part of the circus. But plot twist, another lawyer chimed in like, hold up, we still got a case. They're hopeful the prosecution has more cards up their sleeve, other victims, more evidence. Still, everyone agrees the pressure is now cranked all the way up. And wait, a former FBI agent spilled even more tea. He told News Nation that in cases like this, witnesses might be hiding in protective custody. Yep, you heard that right. It's all cloak and dagger behind the scenes, which just deepens the mystery. Is she missing or being hidden for her own safety?
These testimonies are going to be extremely important. Building a case against someone as high profile as Diddy is not an easy job. So I'm going to bring in former FBI agent Bobby Chacon to talk more about this. So off the bat, Bobby, how do you build a case against a celebrity as well-resourced and powerful as Diddy?
Well, it takes a lot, Sylvia, as you know, because the allegations in this case range from like 2004 to 2024. So this is going to be going on for 20 years, and they're finally getting around to charging him now and trying now. That's because it's so difficult to get people who are not afraid to come forward. This person was powerful. They were rich. They had a lot of influence. They were allegedly violent. So all of those things add up to making it very difficult for investigators to get people to talk to them about these. You add in the fact that many of these things are embarrassing. They're of a sexual nature. They're private. They take place behind closed doors.
Now, let's talk about what Diddy's actually being accused of. And honey, it is dark. We're not just talking lawsuits. The feds are painting a picture of him running a full-blown criminal empire through bad boy entertainment, like turning the music industry into some underground mafia nightmare. They're talking threats, weapons of all kinds, emotional, physical, and even control tactics. And according to prosecutors, Diddy didn't stop at doing dirt. He allegedly came after anyone bold enough to speak out, even behind bars. They say he's been trying to intimidate people, manipulate them into shutting up.
Trying to scare folks into staying quiet.
Well, I mean, on the surface, if the prosecutor's claims are true, this seems like pretty much textbook witness tampering, right? I mean, it appears to be an effort to either, in some cases, intimidate witnesses from testifying against him, or there have been other reports of sort of inducing people to make statements in his defense. There was some allegation that in one instance this was a statement that he, in essence, dictated or drafted with a woman who made a statement that was attempting to rebut one of the accusers, I believe, in a civil case against him. I mean, witness tampering is bad. The things that Sean Combs is accused of are terrible. He pleads his innocence. The justice system will presumably work its way through.
And let's not forget, he's facing RICO-level charges. We're talking racketeering and even transporting people across state lines for prostitution. That's federal time. If convicted, he could be looking at 15 years minimum, possibly life. But Diddy? He's screaming innocent. Still, the courtroom chaos is real. Jury selection, a hot mess. People are pulling out, not wanting any part of this courtroom circus. The judge is slowing things down, trying to make sure every move is airtight. Oh, and guess who just showed up with opinions? Ben Chu. Yep, the same lawyer who helped Johnny Depp destroy Amber Heard's case. He had a lot to say about what kind of jurors Diddy needs, and let's just say it's not looking good.
I think you want somebody who wants to serve, someone eager to serve, because that suggests that person might be inclined toward a celebrity like Diddy. I would also, in this case, I would want men, not because men support abuse, but I could see this being very difficult for women jurors. I would want younger jurors as well. I don't know that older jurors would be good for him.
Do you care where they get their news? Do you care if they go on social media?
I wouldn't care so much about social media. Certainly watching you on Law and Crime would be a real problem. But no, I wouldn't care too much. I mean, in fact, if they were reading the celebrity media, TMZ, Rolling Stone, that might be an encouraging thing for Diddy's counsel.
Now, Ben, according to the court today, they expect preemptory challenges on Friday.
Now brace yourself, because Diddy's legal team is cooking up a risky plan. They're going to argue that some of his relationships were mutual drama, that it wasn't all him, that the women also acted out. Okay. But legal experts are rolling their eyes hard, because even if things got messy on both sides, the real question is about power. Diddy had it. Fame, money, control. And if he used that to manipulate, hurt, or silence people, then boo, that's abuse, period. And if someone couldn't be controlled, allegedly they got punished. Just ask Aubrey Day. The stories are chilling.
I wasn't willing to do what was expected of me. Not talent-wise, but in other areas. It's difficult when you're that young to understand your worth as a woman through the men that I was around, and that was very traumatic. I don't think any of us have healed from that. Diddy would be like, you're not hot anymore, like what happened? You don't have anything, like you don't have any curves. You're looking like you're not looking like, I can't get people to think that you're my good-looking person. And there was no Me Too at that time. There was no protecting anyone at that time. You signed a million NDAs and a million contracts that took away all your rights.
And then there's Jean Deal. She came through swinging. She dropped a bombshell that Diddy planned to exploit her girl group. Like literally pimp them out. She said he had twisted plans to use their image for personal gain, not just music, something darker.
Cause I heard him, and I'm giving you this, Aubrey. He stood up there and he said, in front of a lot of people, we were in the studio, and I said something to him and walked out the studio. He said, yo, I'm gonna drug their ass off and pick them out and pimp them out to my nigga. He said, I'm gonna drug them out. I'm gonna get them all on drugs, and I'm gonna pimp their ass out to my nigga. And I was like, if somebody kids, and walked out. And it's somebody that heard me. It's somebody that heard me. I mean, well, it's not only somebody that heard me, it's somebody that I know who was in the studio at the time that happened, and I still talk to him today.
And let's talk strategy, because this is where it gets wild. Jurors? They do not like when a defense tries to paint the victim as the problem. That always backfires. But word on the street is that Diddy's team is about to do just that, especially with the Cassie Ventura footage. That disturbing hotel video, his team might say it was a lover's quarrel, not some glimpse into a pattern of violence. But here's the kicker. Cassie's testifying, and she's doing it under her real name. She's also pregnant, which legal insiders say could emotionally sway the jury. People protect pregnant women. Plus, she's small. There's no way to spin it like she could have matched Diddy's strength. And get this, Diddy's turning down every plea deal. Every single one. He's going all in for trial.
Because if he think he's gonna get out of this from the federal government, he out his mind. They in the process of plea bargaining, trying to do a plea bargain session with him, and he not taking it. That's probably why one of the lawyers jumped off the case. Remember Benjamin Bradford, his first lawyer with the Cassie situation? He said, give her the 10 million and make this go away, brother. He ended up giving her 30 million. He's not taking the lawyer's advice. 9 times out of 10, they probably got him a good plea bargain. Yo, listen to me, we can give you 15 years. 10 or 15 years. You do that, you come out, you only have to do like 12, 13. Come off to a halfway house. You still can live some of your life out as a free man.
By the end of the week, that jury's supposed to be locked in. And wow, what a fall from grace this is. Diddy used to be untouchable. A music mogul, billionaire, party king. Now, he's sitting in a courtroom, staring down the barrel of a legal meltdown. All eyes are on him and the walls are closing in.
The federal government do not want to go to court. 9 times out of 10, they want a plea bargain with you. You understand? You accept the plea, you accept the time, you go ahead, you save the government money, you save them time and effort and manpower. If you don't believe that that white guy was a plant, then something is wrong with you. He done sold them enough drugs, but they haven't hit him with that charge. They haven't did him with that charge yet, or that we know of. If you don't believe that they're gonna try to hit him with those guns in there, they saving all that for last. The drugs, the guns. They'll do another superseding indictment and add those two up if he don't take the plea. If he don't take the plea bargain to the sex trafficking or whatever, stuff like that, they're gonna say, okay, let's add the guns to it and let's add the drugs to it.
Attorney Andrew Van Arsdale, oh honey, he came ready with the stats. He already represents 37 people in civil suits against Diddy. But here's where jaws dropped. He told CNN that there might be over 400 more claims coming. 400. That's not a typo. Why so many stayed silent? Fear. Paralyzing fear. Van Arsdale says these victims were scared of what Diddy could do. Scared they'd lose career opportunities, get blacklisted, or worse. He said one terrifying thought keeps popping up. What if he walks free? What if he's back in 2 months? That's the nightmare. And girl, it gets even crazier. Van Arsdale said their tip line received 27,000 calls. After cutting out the pranksters and fake claims, guess what? They still think 15,000 are real. Out of that, at least 400 could become major lawsuits. We're talking big, career-destroying, truth-revealing cases.
Day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names. It's a long list already. And of course, I already know who some of these individuals are, but because of the nature of this case, we're gonna make damn sure that we're right before we do that. But the names that we're gonna name, assuming that our investigators confirm and corroborate what we've been told, are names that will shock you.
And Andrew's not alone. He's just one of at least 12 different lawyers coming for Diddy. That's a whole courtroom war brewing. And baby, the claims are pouring in from everywhere. Multiple cities, years of accusations, all painting one horrifying picture. And just when you thought it couldn't get messier, LeBron James' name was casually dropped into one of the lawsuits. Like, what? The legal fire is spreading.
Here is the kicker. Quote, high-profile individuals, including Jacob Arabo, Jay-Z, Gloria Estefan, LeBron James, and Beyonce Knowles Carter, are identified as witnesses due to their presence or knowledge of the events surrounding the freak-off orchestrated by defendant Diddy. Wow. And freak-off, of course, is something that we've heard many times before, both in Combs' criminal case and other civil cases, to describe these prolonged sexual episodes, usually with sex workers. But Manzaro is suing Sean Combs, He is suing a man named Eric Mejias. He is suing Brendan Paul, who's been described in another lawsuit as Sean Combs' drug mule, Emilio Estefan, who is married to pop superstar Gloria Estefan, and Adria English, who filed her own lawsuit against Sean Combs, claiming she too was a victim of sex trafficking. By the way, it's interesting he's not suing these other celebrities that I mentioned, like Jay-Z and Beyonce and Gloria Estefan, possibly because he doesn't believe their alleged liability amounted to a civil claim, but seems to want to call them as witnesses at a trial, although I have to imagine they will do everything in their power to quash any subpoena should this case progress, and we'll talk a little bit more about whether or not it will.
Now hold on to your wigs, because prosecutors just hit the gas. They've dropped new evidence, and even though the court docs are mostly blacked out, the whispers are loud. Legal insiders say it could point to underage involvement. That's huge. They're trying to prove a pattern of behavior, not just isolated incidents. And with over 36 lawsuits, plus that chilling video of him attacking Cassie, this is looking bad. Like, go directly to jail. Do not pass, go bad. If things keep spiraling like this, Diddy might not just lose his freedom, he could lose everything.
The allegations implicate dozens of unidentified witnesses and alleged co-conspirators around the world, and some of the key witnesses to the supposed incidents are dead. Basically meaning, how can we defend against it? The defense is not even permitted to share the identities of the individuals described in the disclosure letter with Mr. Combs until April 18th, further hampering defense counsel's ability to investigate. Collectively, these new allegations require many months, if not years, to investigate, and if admitted, would require a series of mini-trials certain to double the length of a trial the government originally said would last 3 weeks. So this is an explosive allegation that on its face, I don't know if I necessarily disagree with. If they are bringing in evidence of uncharged conduct, wouldn't the defense have an opportunity to investigate it and challenge it? It seems like they're making a point. So if this evidence is allowed in, there is a chance this could delay the trial significantly. We all know Combs wants to go to trial, but how can he properly defend himself against this in just a few weeks?
Now, let's talk about the evidence and those infamous tapes. You know the ones. Diddy's team tried 4 times to get them thrown out. They said the warrants were sketchy, that the freak-off tapes and the baby oil stash from his mansion were illegally obtained. But Judge Aaron Suleimanian wasn't having it. He shut that argument down. Every piece of that spicy evidence staying in. Meaning there's a real chance that these freak-off tapes get played for the entire courtroom. Picture that. It could be devastating. These tapes are reportedly so explicit and disturbing, they could wreck any defense Diddy tries to throw together.
Remember, federal agents from Homeland Security investigations were hardly shy when they raided Sean Combs' opulent homes in Los Angeles and Miami, guns drawn. The jailed music mogul now argues those searches and other searches of his iCloud accounts, electronic devices, and New York City hotel room following his arrest were unconstitutional. His lawyers argue evidence obtained through those searches must be suppressed. Diddy's lawyers say the government presented a grossly distorted picture of reality when applying for the search warrants, omitting certain facts and including salacious details from an unnamed producer that were never credible. Combs has pleaded not guilty to racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and prostitution charges. The defense is also arguing here his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, was a willing participant in drug-fueled sex performances called freak-offs, not coerced as prosecutors allege. This latest challenge to his case comes 3 months before trial, and as Combs loses one of his attorneys, Anthony Rico says under no circumstances can he continue to represent Combs. He offered no details about that decision, Robin.
Out of 60-plus civil cases, 2 have already been dropped. One woman backed out after refusing to reveal her identity. Another filed against both Diddy and Jay-Z, but when Jay-Z denied everything and her story unraveled, she walked away. But Diddy's legal team, oh, they are hungry. They're pointing out inconsistencies, attacking credibility. One male accuser gave an interview on CNN in December 2024, but what he said didn't line up with his court documents. Van Arsdale chalked it up to a paperwork mix-up that's already fixed, and he made a big point to clarify civil and criminal cases are separate games. Just because someone stumbles in one doesn't mean the other goes away. And here's where it gets powerful. Van Arsdale dropped this. Some of his clients are working with federal investigators now. Yep, testifying is back on the table. They're finally starting to believe that this time someone might actually listen, that they might get justice. My clients will be ecstatic if and when Diddy is convicted, he said. But the real healing starts with true accountability. So what happens next? With victim 3 gone, over 400 lawsuits incoming, underage allegations, and those freak-off tapes ready to hit the screen, this trial is about to explode. And remember, this is just the beginning. Make sure you're subscribed, sharing the tea, and dropping your thoughts in the comments, because you already know we'll be back with the next twist in this courtroom circus.